Hello, everyone. Hello. I am somewhat assuming this is working. I'm just checking on the YouTube that it is working, and then I'll begin properly live. Yeah, it's working. We're back. Oh dear, you weren't meant to see that. Never mind. There we go. Excellent. Let's start properly. Okay. Welcome everyone. It's release day for Half Human: Return of the Dvanaest. Woohoo! That was supposed to be a party popper, but I forgot to buy one. We're getting off to a great start. Anyway, like last time, this is a live stream for the Half Human series. Last time, back in December, 2nd of December, I introduced you to Half Human, the Prison Key. You can kind of see it there, the one in blue. Here's the actual book. Isn't it wonderful? I think it's wonderful. Lovely matte finish, wonderful front cover produced by Spaceboy Books, and of course a great story inside for sure. So that was on the 2nd of December. There's an old live stream. You'll find it on the 8th plot. And today, a new one for the second book in the series, which you can also wait. Dear me. Oh, it's over there. You can actually, it's above me. What am I doing? There you go. Half Human: Return of the Dvanaest, which is I actually got a bigger picture of it right here, right next to me. As you can see, it's got a wonderful cover. The book will also have a wonderful matte finish and wonderfully designed ship on the front. Is that the Dvanaest? Well, you're going to have to read it to find out. But don't worry, I'm actually going to read a part of the book to you a bit later. But there's also the wonderful cover designed by Spaceboy Books, and with some input from the students involved and of course Spaceboy Books themselves. So because something to point out, Half Human, the series, is a unique publishing project. Nothing else like it in the whole world has ever been done before, and I'm serious about that. I've been relentlessly checking on Google and other websites are available to sort of figure out whether or not anyone else has done this before, and apparently not. We are the first school, I should say rugby school, to ever publish their own fiction book. There are obviously schools out there who have published non-fiction books, and there are schools that have got students' work published in other publications, but we're the first to take our own creative writing ideas and put them out into the world. So yeah, we are immensely proud of what we've been able to achieve and get Half Human out there, and it's a collaborative effort. I am perhaps the main director of it all, if you could see it like a film. If you are a film studio watching, then, you know, why not give Half Human a little peruse and see if that would make a good film. But imagine that Half Human is a film. I'm the director. All the boys are like the screenwriters and the artists and sometimes the actors, and Spaceboy Books are our producers who have completed the book and you know, finalized it so that it's actually in physical form. You can buy Return of the Dvanaest now, by the way. It's available on pretty much every good bookstore online, and so it's a collaborative effort where different boys are feeding all like their different what they want the story to be like, and sometimes they're thinking big picture. They're helping me with all the little plot points that resolve the story, and they're also just thinking in a bit more short term, where we just sit down. I sit down at a computer and go, how does this action sequence play out? And they actually give me a blow by blow of how Ryan fights this, because Ryan Barnes is the main character, how he fights someone or how he escapes someone, and what his friends are doing as well. So it's a huge sort of collaborative effort, and like I said, it's unique. There's no one else is doing this. I am certain of that. Maybe, although actually I'll say this, no one else is doing it, but I think they should. If you're a school, if you're a librarian, you're the head of English, an English teacher, or even just one of the other teachers who wants to write a book, this is a great project for you to do. because this this encourages creative writing amongst your students. Every school can do this. This isn't something we own as a school. Rugby School doesn't own this project. We want to put it out in there in the world because we want not just our own students thinking creatively. We want as many other students in the country doing it. We want them reading more. We want to do our part to increase literacy around the world. And this is a great project to do that. All you need to do, if you're a librarian, English teacher, any teacher, any member of staff actually, you just have to come up with an idea and start writing. That's it. And get as many students involved as you can. You're pitching ideas for characters, for plot points, for settings, anything you want. And you can do it. We did it. You can do it too. And I would love it if there was like this new subgenre of books up and down the UK, across the whole world, where schools have written and published their own book and shared it with the world. Like, the amount of AI slop there is in the world right now is like, it's just too much. And we obviously don't want AI to, like, obviously if you're an intelligent computer, please don't destroy me if you're planning to destroy the rest of humanity. I don't really have a problem with you. I just have a problem with someone asking an AI to write a story and publishers start doing that. Lots of publishers don't want to get involved in that. Well, salute you for doing this. But imagine if instead of like a way to ward off the AI written stories, schools start producing them, written by the actual readership of these books. And of course that will encourage so much more creativity around this whole book. It's not just about the writing. There's artwork. This whole writing this book has encouraged students to draw for the series, to in order to flesh out how I would describe the characters and how others would describe the characters. Like if I let's see, so in this book, for example, you've got the Dvanaest. Okay, I lied earlier. This is the Dvanaest. You've got the Dvanaest ship, and this is partly designed by the students. Lots of different ones thinking what this should be like, because like this is the Dvanaest. This is like a massive 3D 3D print of the Dvanaest. As you can see, it looks more like a bird. It's got the sort of beaky nose here, sort of more beaky nose. But for the Dvanaest, we wanted to go slightly more like sci-fi, slightly more, certainly not. It's got like the certain bird features at the front there, but the back, like the rest of the ship, is clearly more like influenced by science fiction. Generally, we've gone for something bigger. So, like, we've got the writing, we've got the artwork. Of course, we've got 3D printed modelling, and also students who helped me. Oh, where are they? Excuse me, 1 second while I find them. Also designed these girls. So this is that's Risa and that's Nur. How close can I get into the computer? So these are 2 3D models that we managed to do, and this kind of informs us a little bit about how the characters look. So they're easier to describe when we want to. So there's 3D modeling, there's art, there's that. There's also computer game design, which I'll get to in a minute. So the reason you might, as a school, want to do this is because lots of other, like your students' creativity will skyrocket as they do what they can to help create the series. Sometimes students won't want to get involved in the writing, but stories are more than the books. They're more than the films. There's so much more about them that helps tell the story and grow it and find an audience for it. And so even if you just start writing the book, you'll get students contributing in many different ways, which is helping them to grow as people and to find what they like to, how they would find how they want to contribute and get to work and explore their own creativity. So it's a great project. If you're a school and you want to know more, you can contact me. You can contact me through my website it's on screen, mdrew.co.uk. There's a contact form there. I think there's a contact form on the Half Human series official website, and you might be able to contact me through the school as well, through, where is it, Rugby School. So if you want to know more about how you can implement this project at your school, get your students writing, and lots of other forms of creativity too, then that's up to you. Then I'd be happy to help do that for you. So let's take a little break with something fun. Excuse me, voice is already going. Let's close this down. Right, we're not going to do that. Let's go to shrink this down. Right, Half Human. Here we go. So what we've done in Half Human is we've created some very basic, I'll say basic computer games. And last time I did something fun where I said that I'm sure that I would be able to. Why is it like this? I've got to shrink it down. Anyway. This is the first game we created. It's a simple game where you throw objects at these pillars, these crates, and you have to knock them off the platform. And last time I did this, last time I did a live stream, I said that if I can't knock all of these off in one go, I will have to wear a wig. And I thought I'd do that again, but then we'll grow this because we've got a second game now, which I'll introduce to you a little bit later. But let's see if I'm going to be wearing a wig or not. So if I select the game. There you go. So you can actually, let me just show you first before I do it properly. So you can throw all these different items, and each one corresponds to something a tribe in like a tribal power. So for example, what am I on now? So this is the Motus tribe. So because they are telekinetic, I thought in this game it'd be fun if they could throw two things at once rather than one there, because they're a bit of multitaskers. And then you've got, what's this one? I can't remember. This is the Swift tribe one. So you get lots of small ones, but you get hundreds you get 100 to throw. You can kind of see that there's a limit here to what you can throw. And then you've got, this is the Astral tribe. So they're the telepathic one. So I thought if they had a different viewpoint, because if they can look into your brain, they kind of do have a different viewpoint. What's this one? This is the chart. This is like Men tribe, so they can charge up and fire a really powerful shot. And then you got Ryan, who just, because he's half human, but he's also, if you've read the first book, spoiler alert, close your ears, put your fingers in your ears. Because he's got multiple powers, you get multiple different objects to throw. You could take your fingers out your ears now. Good. So let's try and do the challenge, shall we? Let's restart. Let's restart the whole game. Right. So what I've got to do is I'll be wearing a new wig. Now I'm going to select the Freyan one. Nope. Freyan one, because it's a giant ball. Let's see if I can actually knock these all off in one go. Here we go. Darn it. I really thought I'd even practice this, okay? I'd even practice this to make it work. But, as promised, just like last time, because it's so much fun, but this is a different wig. I'm not even entirely sure why I have... Oh, I remember now, Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see, I've got to be able to see... Okay, there we go. I look like Einstein a little bit, I guess. Oh my goodness, it's really in my eyes. I'll put it behind my ears. There we go. Good. If you're just joining us now, this is completely... I failed to do something. But I'm going to try again, because I want to show you what it also does. Because let's try the Freya one again. Can I do it this time? This doesn't mean I can take off the wig, unfortunately. Here we go. Are they all going off? Yes. And it says... Bobbity bosh. Bobbity bosh. Bobbity bosh. New internet meme for you there. So, that was the first game. And I'm going to show you this in a little bit. The second game. We've got a brand new game to show you. Okay? Protect the Dvanaest. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Because what I want to first do, and I hope you'll hear this, because I'm worried that you won't. Maybe the computer sound. We, some time ago... Do you remember what I was saying about creativity? we also created an advert for our very own book, and we're getting a more official one done. But this was an advert we came up with for the first book in the series, and you're going to see the old cover in this. But I thought I would show it to you, so you get an idea. I'm just going to turn the volume up, I think, so you get an idea of the Half Human Book 1. This is for Book 1. So there you go. Kind of the tagline for the series: "Two worlds, double the danger," and that's the old cover right there. Isn't that neat? That was a neat one. Okay, so we don't need that advert anymore. Okay. Now you're probably thinking, where can I get both books in the Half Human series? Well, this is Spaceboy Books' website. They produce all kinds of different sci-fi and speculative fiction, and they're really good. They've got a whole list of different books for various age ranges, but this is, of course, the page for ours. And let me read a little bit about it. So it's obviously available. It lists 4 places here, and the book is published by an American publisher. As you can see, there's a focus, but you will get it at Waterstones, for example. It will be available for a bunch of other UK websites. You can there's obviously Amazon UK. There's even like Barnes and Noble and UK as well. But let me read a bit about it. Ryan has lived on his new homeworld for 1 year, and he thinks he's got the hang of planet Ontario. But when a new power takes hold, takes hold of his body, he must go back to training and experience one of Ontario's culture's most important traditions. On top of these changes to his body and his life, Ryan is once again at the centre of a treachersome conspiracy involving Ontario's most powerful starship. Everyone also seems to be after his blood, and he would prefer to keep that for himself. The tremendously exciting sequel to Half Human and The Prison Key. And some of the eagle-eyed of you notice that is co-authored and edited by the Rokeby writing team. So that's me and the students. It's a collective term for them. But now it's been expanded to years 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is quite unlike book 1, which had only really had 6, 7, and 8. I'm not going to do it. I know some of you were thinking, was he going to do the thing? But no. But all those year groups are now involved. And the story is sort of targeted at the sort of middle grade market. But it can, students are, we don't do anything too we never do anything graphic in it, because we want it to be read by slightly younger boys, slightly older boys as well. And there you go, there's also some reviews of it. Full of new characters and action. Introducing Sanctuary City was my favourite part. What is Sanctuary City, you're asking? I'm not going to tell you. You've got to read it for yourself. The storyline is original and great and perfect for fans of sci-fi, and a must-read for Half Human fans, an epic return to the series. Now, obviously, that's some of those reviews have come from people who know Rokeby School, and this is what they think of it. But it's not just what people close to Rokeby are saying. This is let's get to it. So we luckily for us, we're not just promoting it. We're not just putting the word out. News sites has done it as well. If you're seeing this in Britain, you might have heard of the Local Guardian or the Surrey Comet. You can even find us on Yahoo News. We came up as this separate news article, and the school reading list, and also Radio Jackie. So if I select this here, you'll see this. This is a nice picture of me and some of the students who Radio Jackie were very kind and did a report, an interview, an article about us. And you can see, oops, dear me. And these students got. Why do I keep doing that? Come on, there we go. And we were interviewed by someone from Radio Jackie, and we were broadcast, hopefully, to all 800,000 potential listeners of Radio Jackie. And we were so happy and thrilled that someone did a news article on our book, and hopefully reached thousands of people who now know about Half Human and are looking into our story. So, and if you do this yourself, reach out to if your school decides to do this kind of project, reach out to your local news services as well and see if they will report on it. I think it's something that should be reported on, not just to let people know about Half Human and get them reading. I just think it's something that should like it's quite a thrill for you to have your own published book. And if you're part of a group that does it at a school, then you're going to feel really good about it. Right, I think it's time for me to do a reading, because I just selected something on the computer. Oh no, it's working this now. Where is it? Right, what I'm going to do is read to you the prologue of Return of the Dvanaest. So, I think last time I did one of these, I read the first chapter and not the prologue, but this time I want you to hear the prologue. I'll put it on here because then you can see it. Is there anything I need to worry about? No. So I'm going to be looking off to this side, which coincidentally is where it is. Okay, so you can follow along as I read the prologue. Let me just take another drink. Oh, that's good water. Right. By the way, if you're hearing, I forgot to mention this up the top. If you're hearing this sound in the background, it's because I'm 3D printing something for Half Human. Oh, do you know what? Before I start reading, I might, since I mentioned it, I will talk about it now. Now there are where are they? Here we go. So that's Ner. This is obviously a 3D print that you can access off the website, so you can download and 3D print your own characters from Half Human. But we've also got these things. So we've got fidget toys which have symbols of each tribe on them. So this is like, it looks like an A, but it's actually supposed to stand for a mountain. This is the Freyan tribe's sort of device. Every tribe has one, and we're building them, we're designing them and building them as we go through the series. And each one is actually, it does something for each tribe to maximize their powers. Because if I haven't said already, planet Ontario, where the Ontarians live, Ryan is half human, half Ontarian, and this is where much of the series is taking place. They all have superpowers. There's like, every tribe has one. The Freyans are super strong, and this helps modify their super strength to make them even stronger. So that's an interesting feature. We've got a Flexi Snake for the Motus tribe. They use that one. We've got an Infinity Cube, which has the Men tribe symbol on it. That's the super healing tribe. We've got like a fidget ring spinner for the Intelligent tribe, and in the universe they are like a gadget that supplements their powers. We've also got a nice what's it called, a spinny top for the Astral tribe. I know you can't see that, but it's spinning great. And then we've got I'm not entirely sure, it's like some form of fidget spinner. You can sort of fidget the rings, and this is a Stimuli tribe, and the idea is that they would look for it to see microscopically. So as good as their sensory powers are, microscopic was a bit hard for them, so they have a device to supplement it. This is a new one. Now it's not coloured by the other ones because it's not a multicolour one, you know, because I didn't have time to do it, and this was a test one. But this is the Volant tribe. You can see a symbol for the Volants on there, like butterfly wings, and it's like a, I don't know what you call it, spiral fidget toy. Anyway, I can't stop doing it. And then finally for the new Pura tribe, who are the underwater tribe, the Aquaman kind of tribe. Nice little button, fidget button. And again, this is weirdly addictive. I don't know why is this weirdly addictive? Anyway, that's a new one that you will be able to download too once I actually put it on the website. So, bunch of other 3D toys for you to get alongside Half Human. But let's get reading, shall we? 6 years ago, in orbit of Planet 6, Jupiter in the human language. As the Dvanaest passed the red spot of Planet 6, Captain GNU thought it looked like the bloodshot eye of a giant, one that was appraising his spectacular vessel in curiosity, as it passed by the storm-racked planet. He stood with his hands clasped behind his back, looking out through 12 inches of thick glass, taking a moment to savour the view this far out into the solar system. In 4 years, GNU would be looking at planets never before seen by an Ontarian. He would be the first to set foot on them. He smiled at the thought of achieving that honour. "Sir," an operations officer said from behind him. GNU turned around to see who had spoken. The bridge of the Dvanaest was shaped like a trapezoid, and a large rear wall and sides that tapered towards the main view screen, which was completely made of glass. This window was overlaid with information on the ship's status. Several stations were dotted around the bridge, manned by a mixture of tribal representatives. GNU chuckled to himself at seeing a Freyan press buttons on his console, which had been built to twice its normal size to accommodate the operator's large fingers. Even more amazing was that the Freyan was conducting slingshot calculations, a job GNU would normally have preferred an intelligent to do. However, this was a special mission, which was why he, a Volant, was a captain. "Sir," the operations officer said again. GNU snapped out of his thoughts. "Yes, Essen," GNU replied to the Stimuli tribe member, whose bony dreadlocks hung loose around his head. "We're passing a human spacecraft that's also in orbit of Jupiter." GNU stared at his officer and chuckles erupted around the room. Essen then turned red and said, "Jupiter sounds better than Planet 6. GNU raised a hand. "I understand, Essen. I don't blame you," he said. "Planet 6 doesn't inspire much awe and wonder." If you don't mind, I'm going to take this off for just a second while I read this. It's actually... Right. Planet 6 doesn't inspire much awe and wonder. Humans know how to name things. Put the craft on the main screen. I'm going to zoom in a bit more for you. Yeah, okay. The spacecraft was displayed on the window GNU had been looking out of. He stepped across the bridge to his chair in the middle of the room and sat down, tucking his wings through the gaps the designer had put in the chair for them. The craft was small and emitted from one end a stream of bright blue energy. 2 primitive solar panels stuck out of the sides like badly deformed wings. GNU's first officer sat down beside him. "Is that the best they can do?" Commander Pardee said, a swifter who, like most of them, talked quickly. "It's a lot like our first attempts, Pardee. Don't be quick to judge. Though humans usually add one addition to their craft that we never did." "What's that?" GNU leaned to his right to address Essen. "Lieutenant, please use the tractor beam to rotate the craft," GNU said. The human craft was enveloped in a beam of green energy, and it was turned around to face them. Once it had done a 180, GNU pointed at a flat piece of metal affixed to the hole under a satellite dish. "There," he said. Essen zoomed in, and GNU smiled, and the bridge crew laughed at what they saw. It was a plaque showing a basic representation of the solar system and 2 naked pictures of humans. Pardee snorted. "How embarrassing. One day, when the humans are aware of us, I hope I never have to tell them that they sent naked pictures of themselves out into the galaxy, and we all had a good laugh about that," GNU said, trying to stop himself from bursting into fits of laughter. "Essen, hack the computer and make sure it's not detecting us," he ordered. "Yes, sir." The Dvanaest left the human craft behind as it orbited the gas giant at far greater speeds, and the bridge crew settled about their business. "How are you feeling about the children's talk?" Pardee said to GNU. GNU shifted in his chair. "You know, I fought in the Civil War, and while I admit I was scared during the first few battles, eventually I learned to push those thoughts aside and do my job. When it ended, I never thought I would feel such fear again. Imagine my surprise when the Admiral told me I'd have to host a broadcast back to the homeworld." Pardee smiled. "I suppose as captain I could always delegate," he added, then turned to face Pardee. Pardee frowned. "You wouldn't." GNU winked at him. "Although, speaking of delegation," Pardee began, "could we talk about who's going to set foot on a new world first?" GNU sighed. "We all want to be first, Pardee, but the honour does fall to the captain. Plus, I'm from Sanctuary City, and we built this ship. We were the ones to design and create the warp drive for this vessel, not tribal intelligence." "I just think that since the fuel and resources came from tribal Ontaria..." GNU gritted his teeth and looked away from his first officer. "We'll talk about this later. It's still 4 years away," he interrupted, waving away his first officer's concerns. Before Pardee could reply, a buzzer sounded on the comms officer's console, manned by a Motus tribe member. She simply looked at her console and it responded, as she pushed the buttons telekinetically. "Sir, communications from Ontaria. Admiral Tarms for you." "On the main viewer," GNU said. The telemetry on the human craft disappeared and was replaced with the face of Admiral Tarms. She was smiling and happy, a rare event for the Admiral, GNU thought. Ever since her first son had been imprisoned, she rarely showed joy. "Captain, in 3 minutes you'll be connected to every tribe." GNU's jaws muscles clenched, and he thought, "Every tribe?" Ignoring the city. Typical. and every city, town, and while Tarms continued her prearranged speech, Gnu's mind drifted off to Sanctuary City, his home, who had invested the most into this crowning achievement of Ontarian space travel. He looked around at the crew of the bridge. The ones forced upon him by the tribal council were taking in the Admiral's words with pride. The ones from Sanctuary City, almost 2/3 of the bridge crew, gritted her teeth at her words. For this historic occasion, Tarms finished. Gnu came back to reality just in time to seamlessly pick up from where the Admiral left off. Thank you, Admiral. We're ready here for the broadcast and for all the wonderful and weird questions the children of Ontario will ask. The Admiral nodded, and her face was replaced by a timer counting down from 1 minute. Pardee adjusted his uniform. Gnu looked around to see the other officers doing the same. Some even had their hair rearrange itself. Gnu dusted off his uniform and sat straighter and remained poised for 20 whole seconds as the computer reached 0. He took a deep breath and then stood up from his captain's chair. Hello, my fellow Ontarians. Welcome to the maiden voyage of the Dvanaest. This is the brave crew taking the will of the patriarchs and the hopes of Sanctuary City and the tribes to the birthplace of the unknown. Gnu smirked for a microsecond as his intended reversal of status. He stepped away from his chair, making his way around the bridge so that the cameras focused on him also captured the other crew members. Out of the corner of his eyes, he saw them sweating, and took a little satisfaction in their discomfort at being watched by nearly all of Ontario. We will travel to the closest star system to ours using this new ship. We will power up its new engines and slingshot around the gas giant Planet 6. The ship will reach nearly the speed of light and arrive in the new solar system in 4 years. Our new warp drive will keep us in the same space-time. When we arrive, we will be conducting research on the planets in that solar system. We will also harvest antimatter, a powerful substance that will put our new warp engines. Then, in a mere hour, we will warp back to Ontario, completing our journey and giving Ontarians the means to travel to other planets and systems quickly and efficiently. This journey will herald a new age for our people and bring us closer together. Gnu finished his stroll around the bridge and arrived back at his chair, and he sat down again. Now comes the hard part, he thought. Thank you, Captain Gnu, and First Officer Pardee from the Swift Tribe, Admiral Tarms said. Gnu turned away from the screen as he let his anger briefly show on his face at the added mention of Pardee. Before your flight can begin, though, we have some questions for you. A child from every tribe would like to ask you about life on board the ship. We will do our best to answer, Gnu said, turning back to the cameras and plastered his face with the biggest smile he could. The screen blurred for a moment as the signal passed to a home somewhere on Ontario. A family appeared. Gnu saw a sofa on which sat 3 children and behind them 2 parents dressed in armour. They were starting with the Freyan tribe. The child in the centre, probably no more than 6 years old, smiled and looked at her parents, who waved their hands to get her to ask a question. The 2 children on our other side were squirming in their seats. The girl in the middle said, Hello, my name is Ulf, she began in slow but adorable broken speech. How long will you be gone for? She finished, and then giggled. Gnu chuckled at her antics and then said, It's a 4-year journey to the neighbouring star system. We'll spend 2 years surveying the planets and harvesting antimatter, then we'll come home. How old are you, Ulf? It was my 6th birthday yesterday, she said. Oh, sorry, I keep changing the voices. I was given my first armour set, she added. Well, if it all goes to plan, we'll be back on your 12th birthday. We'll remember to bring you back something for your special day, he added. His crew laughed or sighed, and he wondered what the reaction would be from other Ontarians. Celebrating the day of your birth was a frowned-upon practice in some places, a tradition that had leaked into Ontarian culture from humanity. Gnu didn't mind it. Humans only did it to placate their children and build up their economy. Ontarians had no such concerns, so celebrating the birth of a child seemed like a good idea to him, purely a gesture of thanks to the one beyond. The parents said thank you, and then the kids did the same. The screen was replaced by Admiral Tarms, who was caught in a scowl before she smiled again for the camera. She probably did not approve of human culture trickling into Ontarian culture either, even though her son had done worse than introduce birthdays. Let's go to the next... Sir, the sensor chief suddenly said in a high voice from behind Gnu. Gnu detected the concern in his officer's tone and looked over his shoulder, ignoring the Admiral. Report! The sensor chief was an intelligent with blue hair who had a confused look on her face. We have a new contact on sensors. A ship. It's coming out from behind the 26th moon of the gas giant. Gnu turned to Admiral Tarms. Sir, is there another ship out here with us? And Gnu tapped a button on his seat supports, showing him the Dvanaest, a massive ship twice the length of the 2 other vessels acting as escort. Tarms cut her hand over her throat to someone off-screen, on her end, a signal to sever the connection with the rest of Ontaria. No, only the Doze and the Dvanaest should be out that far with you. Identify that ship, Chief. It's not human, is it? No, sir, definitely not. An alien vessel? If it is, get ready to enact first contact protocols, GNU announced to the crew. The Chief shook his head. Sir, another contact, this time from behind the 13th moon. A second ship? Pardee said. Now a third, fourth, fifth, the Chief continued. 16 ships, sir, the sensor chief said, his face pale. GNU and Pardee turned around to look at the Chief. Who are they? Pardee asked, his voice trembling. The Chief looked up from his console. Tredesom vessels, sir. He stammered. They are Tredesom. GNU's eyes bulged and he stared into space. 100 questions ran through his mind. This couldn't be happening, he thought. And he pulled himself together and started barking out orders. Raise our shields, activate weapons, and start tracking their course. Why on Ontario are they here? Pardee said. To destroy us, perhaps, GNU said. Pettiness, I suspect. Get me the captains of the Doze and Dvanaest now. The faces of two intelligent appeared on the screen. Captains, I'm going to take the Dvanaest into the upper storms of the planet Jupiter. Our superior shields will protect us there, and we can hide from the Tredesom. Please provide cover and engage those ships while we make a break for it. Acknowledged, the two captains replied. The screen changed again and showed the Dvanaest in the centre. The vessel was 400 metres long, a central core hull with two forward-facing wings either side. Fins adored the top and bottom fuselage. Take us into the planet's upper atmosphere. Full power to the ion drive, Pardee said, and his crew members frantically worked their stations. The image on the screen zoomed out and showed the Dvanaest peel off to the left. The Doze and Dvanaest, two large capital ships shaped like eagles with 3 wings, went right, putting themselves between the Dvanaest and the Tredesom ships. Their vessels looked like vicious flying insects. They're firing, the sensor chief said. The screen showed weapons streak out from the Tredesom ships and impact the shields of the Doze and Dvanaest. The weapons exploded against the shields, which flared bright blue. The two ships then responded with more powerful, longer-ranged weapons, and the first Tredesom vessel was cut to pieces by the combined fire and exploded. Those Tredesom vessels are 10 years old. They won't be a match for the Doze and Dvanaest. There's no need to run. Maybe we should help them, GNU pondered aloud. They want to destroy this ship, Captain, and we have 200 Ontarians on board. Let's not risk this vessel if we don't have to. Once we're in the gas giant, the Doze and Dvanaest will break off. We'll be safe while the Tredesom fruitlessly try to find us, Pardee advised. The Doze and Dvanaest kept firing, and their combined firepower destroyed another ship. But now the Tredesom ship was closing from all sides and firing their weapons. The Doze shields flared again. Their brilliant blue surfaces started out bright, like a crisp summer morning sky. Then slowly they darkened with each hit. Sir, the shields are going to fail, Pardee said. GNU watched as the Doze shield weakened, and the first Tredesom lance strike broke through. He watched the vessel bleed its atmosphere into space. He gripped the arms of his seat tighter. The Tredesom moved closer, targeting the area they had breached. Pilot, turn us away from the planet. Weapons chief, charge the forward lance strikers, GNU ordered. As the ship turned back towards the battle, the comms officer's console started beeping. Sir, it's Admiral Tarms, he said. The Admiral appeared on the screen. Captain, don't go into battle. Hide in the gas giant, the Admiral said. We have to help the Doze. Its shields are failing, GNU said. Those are military vessels. Yours is an exploration ship. They know their duty. Hide, Captain GNU. I'm on the Dvanaest. It and several other ships are preparing to launch. We'll be at Planet 6 in 2 weeks and escort you out of there. The safest course of action is to hide. GNU looked at the battlefield. Another strike made it through the Doze shields and blasted apart another section of hull. GNU saw the atmosphere erupt into space and a few figures went with it. He tapped a button on his chair and Admiral Tarms disappeared. Are we in range? He asked his weapons officer. Yes, sir. Then fire! GNU ordered. The Dvanaest had 2 forward-facing lance strikers on its nose, powerful laser guns that stuck out from the hull and looked like fangs. Twin red beams shot from the strikers and struck the nearest Tredesom vessel. Its shields held for a moment, their weapons cut through the Tredesom's old shields, relics from the Civil War 10 years ago. Ships that had avoided the shield prison. The Tredesom vessel was cut into 2 pieces, both hull sections glowing orange for a moment before the coldness of space cooled the metal. The Tredesom ships moved around the Dvanaest, approaching from all sides, but they did not fire. What are they doing? GNU asked himself. Sensor chief, any unusual readings? Pardee asked. I'm registering electromagnetic pulse cannons charging, the chief replied. EMP? That won't harm us. This ship's systems are protected. Let them fire, GNU said. Sir, the Doze, an officer said. The whole bridge looked at the screen just in time to see the Tredesom weapons break through their shield a 3rd time and strike the bridge of the Doze. The explosion destroyed the command centre of the vessel. Fire again! Gnu shouted. The Dvanaest took out another Treaderson vessel, and then their fleet fired on the Dvanaest. Yellow light beams shot from the pods slung underneath the Treaderson vessels. The beams hit the Dvanaest shield and punctured right through and struck the hull, leaving it undamaged. Parts of the shield around each beam disappeared. The EMPs are cutting through the shields. They've calibrated them only to break down the energy field. Reinforce them, Pardy ordered. Sir, they're sending a boarding party, the chief said. The screen showed several Treaderson, each with wings like Gnu, leave their vessel and fly through space towards the Dvanaest, too small for the ship's weapons to pick off. They're going to board us, Gnu said. Pardy, take command. All Volant tribe members and Sanctuary City citizens trained for space combat, meet me in the cargo bay. Pick up weapons, we'll meet them in space. Sir, you have to remain here, Pardy called out of him. The Admiral, Gnu ignored him. This was his ship and his orders. He made his way through the vessel until he reached the cargo bay, where he put on a helmet and grabbed a gun. Other Volants entered the bay and armed themselves. They were then joined by a few Motus, Swifters and Intelligent, dressed in tight-fitting spacesuits complete with engines and wings. Pardy's voice then came through the loudspeaker. Sir, Admiral Tarms for you again. Gnu growled. Pardy told on me. Captain Gnu, do not leave the ship. Go back to the bridge and captain your vessel, Tarms said over the loudspeaker. They're going to board us. We need to meet them in space. Head on. No, stay aboard and meet them from within at the breach points. They want the vessel. They want the technology. You have greater numbers and the corridors are perfect choke points. I know what I'm doing, Admiral. This is how Sanctuary City fights, with tactics born from all the tribe's gifts. Gnu replied, then cut off the transmission. Volants, we're going to do what we do best. Meet the Treaderson in our territory and cut them to pieces. Then we will board their ships and kill them from within. Sir, are they coming with us? A Volant from Tribal Ontario asked, pointing at the non-flying Ontarians. In Sanctuary City, the tribes give their gifts to every situation, Pardy explained, with pride etched in his voice. The Motuses will snatch weapons, the Intelligent will call out the tactical situation, and the Swifters will strike first. Watch Tribal Ontarian and learn how the city works. The assembled strike force cheered, then their helmets came down over their face. The cargo bay then depressurized and opened. Gnu dropped down into space. Immediately his tribe's unique features went to work. His skin released a film of sweat that would protect him from cosmic rays and the cold of space, further supported by the suit he wore. His wings unfolded and in one flap he was away, holding a gun in one hand and sword in the other. With each flap, a white field of energy pulsed out from his wings, and he picked up speed, soaring away from the Dvanaest. His team arranged themselves in an arrowhead formation. Their helmets displayed images of the tactical situation, all relayed quickly by the Intelligence flying with them. They swept around the stream of Treaderson, going straight for the gaps in the shield their EMPs had created. Gnu led his team around to their side, and once they got there, started firing. They cut into the Treaderson wave of soldiers, some of whom turned to meet them. Suddenly, one of the Treaderson's weapons was snatched from their hands, and they fell off into space as Motuses took them from them. Some small arms fire struck Gnu's men, though, and they went flying backwards. "Hold the line! Stay with me!" Gnu bellowed to his soldiers. As he put the gun on his back, he held his curved sword outward. Both flocks clashed in space. The Swifters in the group, who used rocket-propelled suits, went ahead and sliced into Treaderson too quickly for the Treaderson to dodge. Then the Volants soared in. Gnu's forces prevailed, the flock breaking the swarm. The Treaderson may have had our powers, but they don't have our people's skills, he thought, and smiled as he took out another. The Treaderson didn't have close combat weapons and tried to use their guns as clubs. More were cut to pieces by Gnu's plunge into their ranks. "Reform!" he cried out when the group made it through to the other side. Gnu appraised the situation quickly. They had halved the number of Treaderson heading for the ship. However, some of them had passed through the shield of the Dvanaest and were trying to board. Then a Treaderson vessel peeled off from the main group and headed right for the side of the ship. "Sir, that Treaderson ship has overloaded its engine. I think they're going on a suicide run," Pardy said over his comms. "What? Don't they want the ship?" He watched in horror as the Treaderson vessel moved forward. It did appear to be lining up for an attack run. Gnu flew forward to try and get in front of it. The explosion caused by its self-destructing engine would destroy his city's pride and joy. The Treaderson vessel continued to glow, its hull partially erupting from within as its engines overloaded themselves. He flapped his wings desperately. He was too late, though, and the Dvanaest disappeared from Gnu's view, consumed by a ball of light. 2 weeks later. Admiral Tarms strode across the bridge of her ship and looked out of the Duodecim's forward window. Debris from the battle was spread out over thousands of square miles above the gas giant. Much of it had fallen down into the storms of Planet 6. There was the occasional engine thruster or dead body here and there. "Admiral, there is no response from our hails. I don't think the Dvanaest is in the planet's atmosphere," her sensor chief said. "Keep looking," Admiral Tarms said. "The least we can do is find their bodies and return them to Ontarian soil. Tarms watched several other Ontarian ships spread out around Planet 6, scanning for a ship that Tarms knew was already destroyed. She wondered if another would ever be built after this calamity. And there we go. That's the first chapter. I should probably put this on right now. I have no excuse not to, and I did promise to wear it. Oh my goodness, it's worse. I think that's probably the wrong side. Oh well. There we go, it's fine. Well, I hope you enjoyed that introduction to Return of the Dvanaest. What shall I find now? Right. I did promise that we would look into the other game. So, this is the other game we created. It's called Protect the Dvanaest, and it's a simple sort of turret game. It probably needs a little bit more work, but I don't know. Seems to... I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to have to... Now, the idea is you have these, like, targets flying in. You can kind of see them there. And you've got a turret and you've got to destroy them. But what you actually get are different weapons. So, oh, hang on a minute. So you get these different weapons. Each one, again, sort of fixed to the tribe. So, that's a standard one. Oh dear, I just got this hit. This is the rapid-fire one. Woohoo! Let's see. Oh, this is the big Freyan one, so it fires this massive projectile. So you can't say you can't say you didn't hit it. Let's see, what does the next one do? Where is it? Ah, this scatters. This one scatters. Oh, body bosh! You get body bosh again if that seems to be a recurring theme. If you can hit on this one more than 1,000 points before you die. Now let's see what's the next one. Oh, this is the homing one. You only get a few of these though because it's too good. This is obviously the intelligent tribe who are so intelligent they built homing missiles. Oh, this one is like you throw it and then it explodes ahead. So you don't actually have to hit the object straight on. You can try. Now this one is one of my favourites. It's the laser beam one. Now as you can see, your shield is going down. So if your shield reaches 0, oh dear, I'm going to die. You lose. What's the next one? Oh, it's another lovely scatter shot. Even more. Come on. And the 9th one. Oh, this one's another explode. Oh, where's it gone? It's not working. Anyway, the final one, 0. If you hit things, you get back your shield. So this is the men tribe. They're the healing tribe. So obviously, they heal your ship. Oh dear, it's closing in. It's getting more than I can. Actually, I should probably limit this one too, because the men tribe is far too powerful. Oh, what's another one to use? I'll use. Okay, I need to change this. This is far too easy. Oh, what's going on? Ah, no. Oh, I lost. Anyway. But I did get a total score of 11,300. So if you can beat that score, put it in the comments, okay? And be honest now. But there's a new game that you can play on the website, Protect the Dvanaest. So 2 games and different modes of play for each of them. This is weird. Where's the rest of this thing? Where's the rest of the website? Something's gone wrong there. Anyway, the Half Human Games. This is our official website for the series. Let's enlarge it a little bit. So it'll tell you about the project. Here. Oh, needs a bit of work. Anyway, you can go and see it there. What's happened to the background? Where's the background at? That's not what it's supposed to be. Huh. Oh well, never mind. Cool. I think that's enough for this live stream. I'm going to take this off. And I'll put on this nose instead. I wore this at the last live stream and I got a few laughs, so there we go. Oh, something I didn't get a chance to wear, but some of you are going to find funny. I have no doubt about that. And I've lost it. That's a shame. Oh well, I'll just use it on the next live stream. Oh, dearie me, what's happened there? I'm back. Anyway, Half Human, Return of Dvanaest, released today. Go get your copy now, and then You've got this to look forward to. This is actually the old version. This is the old version of Half Human Hybrid. That's the name, well, potentially the name of our next book. We might change the name. It's all part of the creative process. No title is set in stone until it's published, again, in our case. Now, thank you so much for watching. Go buy the book on every reputable online store. You'll find it there for sure. There's even a Kindle version of the book. I want to thank you so much for listening. I want to thank you so much for those who have brought the book and read it. Please put your reviews out there. Let people know about it. Big thanks to Spaceboy Books for publishing. Big thanks to Rokeby School as a whole who have encouraged this entire project. A big thank you to all those different news sites that have reported on our story and put the word out for us. We truly appreciate it. And if you're a librarian, if you're a teacher, who doesn't matter actually what staff member you are at a school, encourage children to get involved in a project like this. Try this project at your own school. This needs to start a new genre of books that are published by schools for the readership, written by the readership. Check out more on my website. Let's go find the correct page and display it. Good. halfhumanseries.com, www.mjury.co.uk. Check out those websites for more information and play the games, of course, which you can have lots of fun doing. They're better than any game you'll get on a console, whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah, go enjoy Skyrim or Zelda or Fortnite, but try our game. It's even more fun. That's what I'm going with. Thank you so much again for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Go get a copy of Half Human, Return of the Dvanaest. Obviously read Half Human, A Prison Key first. Have a good morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.